Hi everyone, today I would like to show you how you can configure your Airflow to send out email notification upon retry of your DAG and also whenever your DAG run fails. Okay, now let's get started. Now the first thing we want to do right here is to launch an EC2 instance. So right here, if you don't have an AWS account, I highly encourage you to go create one. Okay, so right here we are going to type in EC2 and then let's open up EC2. So when you do that, then you can come right here and let us click launch instance. Okay, when you click that, then give your EC2 instance a name. I'm going to give it this name, Airflow notification on retry, and then I'll select Ubuntu as my Amazon machine image, and then I'll come right here for my instance type. I will choose T2.medium. We know in my series of Airflow that I've done with you guys that T2.medium is a better choice for us right here. Okay, and I've also explained those reasons. And then key pair name, we are going to be selecting this. I already have my own key pair. Okay, if you don't have your own key pair, you can create a new key pair right here, and I've also explained this to you previously. I will put the link to such video in the description. Okay, very good guys. And then right here I'm going to create security group. I will allow HTTP. Right here I'll check this and check that. I can close this, and then yeah, everything should be good. Then I can do a launch instance. Okay, now the instance is being initiated, so I can come back right here. As you can see, this is my instance right here. So the next thing we're going to start doing right here is we are going to start installing dependencies. But before we install dependencies, let's refresh this. You see it says impending. Let us wait for a few seconds. Let's wait for a few seconds. The instance state should change pretty soon. Okay, let's wait for a few seconds. Although while that is going on, we can check right here and then update our security group. So I can come right here and say security, and then I'll click the security groups, and then I'll come to my inbound rules. And the reason we want to do this is we want to add a rule to create a port where Airflow is going to be running. So, and the port is going to be 8080. So I'll come right here, custom. I'll do this. I'll select anywhere IPv4, and then I'll do save rules. Okay, now that we have that, let's go back to our EC2. Let's see what happens if our EC2 is already running. You can see our EC2 now is already running. So let's go ahead and start installing dependencies. Okay, so I will check this again, then I will come to connect, and then make sure you are in this tab, EC2 instance connect. Then I will connect, and then I would start installing our dependencies. So I would paste this. That is going to run. I'm doing a sudo apt update. Okay, that is going to run now. That's going to be completed in a few seconds. Okay, that is done. Now let us also install pip. So I'm doing a sudo, then press enter. I'm doing a sudo apt install python 3-pip. So I say yes. I'll put these commands in the description below. Okay, so you don't have to type it. Okay, take note of that. Let this one quickly run. It'll take a few seconds. And make sure you are in the region that you actually want. Okay, like in my own case, I'm in the Oregon region, which is the US West -2. Okay, make sure you are in the region that you really want. That's the one that is closer to you. Okay, so right here, this one, I can just press my down arrow and just come to this one right here, and I can just say enter. I think that should be fine. and then let us install our virtual environment. I'll click enter right here, and then I'll say yes. Okay, and then here I'll just say enter, just click enter. Okay, and then the next thing now is let me create my virtual environment. Remember, we just installed the virtual environment. Now let us create a virtual environment right now. So I'm calling my virtual environment, I'm calling it Airflow notify venv. Okay, so I will say enter. That's going to create my virtual environment that is created. Then I will activate the virtual environment. How do you activate? Source Airflow notify venv, that's my virtual environment, /bin/activate. I'll click enter. You can see right here now we have that environment. Okay, very good, guys. Now the next thing we want to do now is to install our Airflow. So let us do a sudo pip install apache-airflow. That will take some seconds, okay, to install. Let's allow it to go ahead to install. Okay, let's give it some few seconds. That's going to install. Almost there. Very good, very good. Now that we have installed that, we've installed Airflow right into our virtual environment. So now let us paste let us have a Airflow standalone. Let us initiate our Airflow right now. So that was going to be Airflow standalone. I'll click this. So now my Airflow is being initialized. Okay, you can see it's creating admin user. Okay, you can see right here that is adding permissions and all of that. And take note that we've also already updated our security group. Okay, and for it to allow Airflow to run on port 8080. Okay, if we did not do that, then we will not be able to access the Airflow. Okay, now let us come right here. Now let's go back to our instance, check this, and then you can just copy this public IPv4, come right here, paste it right here, and then do a colon 8080, press enter. Very good. Now you can see we are in the Airflow UI. Very good, guys. Now what you can then do is come up right here and look for the password that Airflow has created for you. Highlight that and then copy. See that the username it also gave us is admin, right? So I will type in this admin, and then I will paste this right here, and then I will sign in. I just pasted the password. Okay, now you can see, if you are able to get to this place, congratulations, guys. You can see that we have all the different DAGs. Very good. Now what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to bring up my Visual Studio Code and then connect to my EC2 instance. If you don't know how to do that, I'll put the link to the description below, where I showed you how you can connect Visual Studio Code to EC2 instance. I've created a dedicated video for that, okay, wherein I showed you how to do that, so you can watch that video. Okay, now I'll come to config. Now this is the host name of my EC2. If you look at my EC2 right here, the name of my EC2 is Airflow notification on retry. Okay, and then the host name right here is going to be my IP address. So I'll come right here, I'll copy my IP address, I click that, and then I'll put that right here. Okay, the user is Ubuntu. Remember, we are using Ubuntu here, and this is my key pair. Remember the key pair that I had already created, which I used in my EC2, and this key pair is in my downloads folder, so you have to put the absolute path. Okay, take notes, all these I've explained it in another dedicated video, and as a matter of fact I've used it in all the other videos in Airflow. I've used this approach, so you can easily get them there if you're having some challenges there. Okay, now I will save this. So when I save this, then I can come right here and connect. I click connect to hosts. You can see now I have Airflow notification on retry. I have that EC2 instance name right there. Okay, so this is going to connect to my EC2. You can see saying continue. I'll say continue. Let me expand this. So this is trying to connect. You can see now it has connected to my EC2 Airflow notification on retry. Very good, guys. Now the next thing is, let me open the folder that I have on my EC2. You can see home Ubuntu. I will say okay. That is going to connect. That is going to open up the folder that basically is going to open up the folder, the directories of my EC2, and then we can continue from there. Very good. You can see now we have a folder Airflow right here. If you come right here, you will see that there is something that is called .cfg configuration. So if you click this and then you do a Control F, let us look for load underscore examples and press enter. You can see I have load examples. What this is saying is that if you want to show the different examples that we have right here for the different DAGs in Airflow when we installed it, if you want to show it, leave this as true. Okay, but if we don't want to show it, we just change this to false. I don't want to see them. I will just change to false. I will save. Okay, I will save, and then I will go back. I'll go back and kill my server, my Airflow server, and start it all over again. To kill that, you do Control C. You can see that it is shutting down the component. Okay, and then I will bring it back up again. Airflow standalone is going to come back up again, and then we will refresh this. Okay, all right, that is coming up right now. You can see it's coming up. Yeah, it's going to be the same password. Just come right here and just refresh. You can see right here, guys, that we don't have any DAG examples right here anymore. Very good, guys, very good. Now the next thing we want to start doing right now is let's start creating our DAG. Okay, so what we are going to do right here is that for those of you that have been following up my videos, we already know right now that this DAGs folder is where my Airflow is going to look at for it to be able to know which DAG to run. Okay, so we are going to create this path, Airflow DAGs. Remember, we are in Ubuntu, home Ubuntu. So come to Airflow right here and then right click and then click and then do create a folder called DAGs. Okay, now we have a folder called DAGs. So inside this DAGs, let us now create, inside the DAGs folder, let us now create our DAG. Okay, and the name I will give my DAG will be notification underscore testing. Okay, .py. Okay, very good. Now we have that right there. Okay, so now the next thing I want us to start doing right now is let us create our DAG right here, guys. So now for us to create our DAG, I will just copy and paste all of this code from my other screen to this place, and let me quickly explain. I know previously, you know, those of you that have been following my videos, you already know all of this. Okay, you already know how to create tasks rather. So right here now I'm importing Airflow. From Airflow I'm importing my DAG. Okay, I'm importing DAG rather. From datetime I'm importing time delta and datetime. I'm also importing a Python operator right here. Okay, I'm creating default args right here. If you look at what I do right here, owner, I call it Airflow. Okay, depends on past, I say it's false. Okay, my start date, I put this date. Then email, I put this email right here, topospectra@gmail.com. Okay, when there is an email, when there is a failure, okay, I'm saying that true, that email me on failure. Okay, whenever there is a failure in the DAG, and also whenever my DAG is retrying, I'm saying yes, please send me an email. Where is it going to send the email to? It's going to send the email right here. As you can see that this is a list right here. That means that you can put multiple email addresses right here, separated by commas. Okay, so that means if you have different stakeholders that you want them to, you know, get the email whenever there is a retry or whenever there is a failure, so just put their emails right there. But in this case, I'm just going to put one email address. Okay, now retries. How many times do you want to retry? I want to retry 3 times. Okay, now retry delay. What does that mean? What that means is that the first time that my DAG fails, okay, how many minutes or seconds should it wait before it retry the second time, or before it retry the third time, or before it retry the fourth time? Okay, so in this case I'm saying 3 seconds. So when it fails first time, wait 3 seconds, trigger the DAG again. If it fails again, wait another 3 seconds, trigger the DAG again. So I'm instantiating my DAG right here. I say with DAG. Remember that we had already imported DAG right here. Okay, so I will say with DAG, then I'll give my DAG a DAG ID, then the default args. These are the default args. I'll assign this to this. Schedule interval, I'm saying at daily. Then catch up, I'm saying false. I'm not doing catch up right here. Then I create a Python operator. Remember, we have also already imported the Python operator right here. I give it a task ID. Okay, then I'm giving it a variable name. This is the variable name right here. Email underscore on retry on failure. Okay, now I give it a task ID. Then Python callable. Okay, what Python should it call? So this is the Python I want it to call. I mean, which Python function should it call? So this is the name. So I create the function right here. So I'm just doing basic thing right here. Okay, I'm just doing basic thing right here. I'm giving it a equals to 3 plus 4, which we know it should give us 7, right? So I'm returning a right here. Okay, so that is all that we have for our DAG. Let us save this. Remember that the essence of this video is for me to show you how you can create or you can configure your Airflow to send out email notification upon retry of your DAG, or whenever your DAG run fails. Okay, now we have saved that. Okay, now let us go to our UI. It might take maybe maybe 2 to 5 minutes or so for it to propagate here. Let us refresh. You can see we don't have it here. Let us wait for few minutes. I'm going to pause this video and come back right here. Okay, now few minutes have elapsed. Let us refresh this. Let's see if our DAG is going to show up right here. If it doesn't show up, then we'll wait for 1 or 2 more minutes again. Okay, so let me refresh. Okay, we still don't have it right here. Let us wait for few minutes again. But while we are waiting, let's see if, just to make sure that we don't have any error right here, because that's also very important. We want to make sure that there are no errors that may be affecting our DAG from showing up with DAG. Okay, I think everything looks good right here. So what we can do is, let us refresh. Okay, if we don't have this here, let us come right here and let us kill the server and we will restart again. Okay, so now I'm going to do Airflow standalone and then we'll restart again. Okay. Okay, awesome. Let us refresh right here. Okay, very good. You can see that right here, guys, that we restarted our server, and then now we can see that we have our DAG. Okay, so now let us click this DAG and go to graph view. Very good, guys. You can see that we have our DAG right here. Okay, very good. So now the first thing I want us to quickly check is, let us even check if our DAG is going to run. Right now we have not configured our email we have not configured our Airflow for email notification, okay? Even though we had selected true right here, email on failure, email on retry, but we have not configured the Airflow to receive email. But let's just see if this is going to run. Okay, so what we can do right here is that let us trigger this. Let's see. You see it's on queue, and okay, very good. You can see that it shows that our DAG is running. Okay, this task is running very well. You can see the green border, which corresponds to this green border right here. This is success. Okay, very good. Now that we know that this is running, that's good. Now the next thing we want to now then do is to go back to our config file. Let's go to our config file right here, and then let us do some configurations. What you can do right here is come right here and type in email, do Control F and type in email and press enter. What you can see right here is that Airflow has already put some connection details right here for us. Okay, so we have the email backend, and then we have email connection ID. So we could still use this name right here, smtp_default, to create our connection. Okay, or you can give it a different name. You can see that we already have this one, default email on retry. It say true. Email on failure, it say true. However, if we had set false here, then we would have overwritten whatever is right here. Okay, so that means that even though this says true, it doesn't matter. If we don't want any email notification, then we will just change this to false. Okay, but right here we want to set up email notification, so let's put this as true. Okay, and then if you come down right here to SMTP, so this is where we will now do some configurations also right here. Okay, so now since we want to use Gmail right here, we have to put the SMTP hosts for Gmail right here. Okay, and for Gmail, this is what you have. If you want to also do for Outlook, yeah, you can just Google around also and check out what is the SMTP host for Outlook, then you put it right there. Okay, so SMTP starts TLS, leave this as it is, leave this as it is. So right here we have SMTP user and SMTP password. Okay, so the SMTP user is going to be our email. Okay, but let's leave this right here. We are still going to come back to this. Okay, what is the SMTP port? It's going to be 587 for Gmail. Okay, and also from which Gmail account do I want to be sending this email from? I'm going to put this email right here. Okay, from this email is going to be sending out the email, right? The email notification. And who are those that are going to receive the email? Any of the email address that you put inside this list. Okay, but right here I only have one email address in this list, so you can decide to put more email addresses right there. Okay, very good. Then we are seeing that SMTP timeout 30 seconds right there. SMTP retry limit 5. So you can change this number as you want. Okay, that's easy to understand. Okay, now I want to show you two approaches of this email notification. So the first one is we are going to go to the Airflow UI to configure our user and our password. Okay, but before that, since we have made an update on this configuration, we are going to save this. Okay, so anytime you update your configuration, you have to restart your Airflow server. Okay, so because of that, I will come right here and I will kill. So because of that, I will come right here. I will do a Ctrl+C to kill this session. Okay, I'll kill that, and then I will do Airflow standalone again to reinitialize. Okay, let that get completed before we go to the Airflow UI. Okay, very good. We already have that. So let's come to this Airflow UI and let us refresh. Okay, now that we have refreshed, now let's come to admin right here. So come to connections. Okay, now if you remember right here in our config, the name of our connection ID is smtp underscore default. You can give it another name if you want. Okay, so I will just come right here, I'll click this, and those of you that have been following my videos, I've explained connection ID to you guys previously. Okay, so I will do this smtp. Okay, then I'll select email. Okay, and then I'll select login. The login is going to be my email. Okay, and I have this email right here, but then it's going to be the login for the, basically, let me say it this way, it's going to be the email that I'm going to be using for my Gmail password. Okay, so that means that let me come right here and go to this link. So now let us enter this link so we can generate the app password that will be used for the email notification. Okay, so enter your password right here for your Gmail, and then this will bring us to this page right here, which right here you can then select mail. Then from here you can select your device, or you could even select custom name. Yeah, I don't think this really matters, but in my case, my computer is a Windows computer, so I would click Windows computer and then I will click generate. You can see right here, this has generated for me an app password. I will copy this, I will save it somewhere. Please make sure you save it somewhere, otherwise you will lose it after you close this page. Okay, in my case, I'm showing this right here because I'm going to delete this app before I publish this video out. Okay, so now I can click done here, or if you like, you may not click done. Okay, so what is our login? The login is the Gmail for the app that we just created. Remember that we just created an app password right here, right? What Gmail did we use? Okay, in that case, the Gmail address I used is this. Okay, and what is the password? The password is this password that was created here for us. I'll copy this. Okay, and then I'll paste that right here. Okay, so when I paste that right here, I will click save. Okay, now that is saved. Because that is saved, what I just need to do now is let me come back to my DAG right here. Okay, but before I run this, I would like to show you the Gmail account right here. As you can see right here, there is no email that tells us that there is some uptry or that our DAG fails, right? There is no email like that. Okay, intentionally make this task to fail. Instead of 3 plus 4, let us make that 4 a string. Okay, if I make that 4 a string, I will save it. Okay, and then I will come back right here. Okay, if I come back right here, what I will do is, as you can see, this is already turned on and this is already auto refreshing. Okay, but let us come right here. You can see nothing is running here. We can see that, we can see that there is no email that says this has failed yet. So I'll bring this here. I will then open up this. So if I open up this, you can see the last run that we had was successful. Okay, if you click on this code, you can see that our update has propagated through. So right here, you can see that this 4 is a string. Let me come back to this graph view and then come to right here. Let me trigger my DAG. Let's see what happens. Trigger DAG. Okay, you can see our DAG is running. You can see the okay, now you can see that it failed. You can see we had up try before, right? Because it was yellow. Now it's queued. You can see again it has failed. It is up for retry. It is already queued again. Then now it has failed finally. you can see that it was running, it failed, it went for up for retry, it queued again, it ran, it failed, it went for up for retry. As you can see that all those continued until it failed finally. Remember that we had 3 retries, right? Remember that in our default args here, we said our retries should be 3, right? And the time delta for each retry should be 3 seconds. Okay, now let us go to our email. Let's see what happens. Very good. You can see right here, guys, now that we got an email notification right here. You can see, if you look at this, you can see right here that it says 1 out of 4. You see that it says up for retry, up for retry. Also, second, 2 out of 4. You can see 3 out of 4. What that means is that the first time it fails, it went for, this is the first run, okay, and then it went for retry, this retry, and then this retry, and then finally you can see, finally you say 4 out of 4. That is when it now said failed. Can you see that right now, guys? We add a 3, we run it first time, then we now say retry 3 times. That makes it a total of 4. You can see that the final one failed. You can see that, guys, and that is what happens right here. You can see the red border, which means fails. Now you can see how you can be generating email or email alert when your DAG fails. Another way we can also do this is not using this connection ID that we created right here, okay, but rather we want to create the configuration inside this config right here. So this SMTP user name is going, instead of us putting it in the connections right here on Airflow UI, okay, we will just put it right here, and then we'll put the password right here, and then we will run it, and things should be good. Okay, you can use any of the two approaches, right? But just that in some cases you see teams mostly using the approach of using connection ID because they don't want to expose the password in a config file or in their .cfg file right here. Okay, but let us look at the second approach. Okay, before we do that, what I will do is let us look for the connection ID we created here and delete it. And we know that the connection ID is called smtp_default. So I'll come right here and I will look for smtp_default. This is smtp_default right here. Okay, so I will just delete this. Okay, now I've deleted that, so we don't have any connection right here anymore. Okay, but what we can do right here now is to uncheck. Let us uncheck this guy. Let us uncomment this guy. So what I just did is you can just highlight and then press Control / I think that's what it's called, or just come right and just remove that pound sign. Okay, and then you just put the email. Remember the login email that we were just talking about, right? When we use the connection ID, put that right here, and then the SMTP password is going to be that password you created on that Gmail security link. Okay, so I'll put that right here. Okay, and then I will save. I think everything looks good, so I have saved that. And also remember that let's make sure that we restart our Airflow because we have updated our config file. Okay, and also one thing I also like to do is that let us again just verify that our DAG is working correctly. Let us remove these strings and let us save. Then come back to this connect, do a Ctrl+C to kill this session. Okay, I've clicked it. Let us restart the Airflow server. Okay, that is restarting right now. That is restarting right now. Okay, that has finished restarting, and then let us come right here and just come to our DAG. Remember that we have removed the connection for that SMTP, right? That SMTP connection. So now we only want to use we want to use the second approach, which means that we are putting our credentials in this config file. That's our user and our password, instead of using that connection ID. You can use any of those two approaches, but like I said, most teams would like to use it inside. They would like to use the connection ID on the admin connection page right here. Okay, so now we have our DAG right here. Okay, let's see if this DAG is going to run. Okay, remember that I have made corrections to this .py file, so this should run, this should not be failing. So let us do that. Trigger DAG. Okay, very good. You can see this runs successfully. If you come to your XComs, you should see it. You can see that right here, that ran successfully. Okay, very good, guys. Now that we have done that, then let us now go ahead and make amend to our code right here. Let's just change this to string. Okay, we know that this is a string now. If we save it, we know we should be having error. Okay, very good. And also let us come to our email right here. Let us delete these two. Let's delete these two. Okay, let's delete also this one right here, so that we make sure that we don't have any instance. Oh, I think what happens is that the what's going on? Okay, it has not run. Okay, let us delete. Okay, what's going on? Okay, I think everything is deleted right now. We don't have anything of such. Okay, very good. Everything is deleted. I refresh my inbox, everything is deleted. Okay, now let's come right. As you can see, this is a success right here. Okay, but now if we run it, we do not expect a success. Okay, and we expect email notifications to be sent to our email. So I'll click this, trigger DAG. So now it's going to queue. Now it's running. It's queue, but it fails. Very good. So it's up for a retry. It's queued. It fails. You can see that, guys. It's running. This is running because you can see running. Now finally it failed. Right, it failed. So let us go back to our email to see if we got some email. You can see right here, guys, that we got email notifications right here, guys. You can see, guys, that this is the first one. You can see up for a retry. 1 out of 4, 2 out of 4. You can see 3 out of 4. Okay, it's failing. This is up for a retry. Each time it is retrying, and then finally it failed. You can see 4 out of 4. It failed. You can check the log right here. If you want to mark it for success, you use this link. Okay, you can see how we can configure our Airflow in either of both ways that I've showed you. You can use a connection ID on this admin panel, right? Or you can do your complete configuration in this config file. Okay, I hope you guys understand this right now. Okay, if you are finding these videos valuable, guys, please do subscribe to our channel and click on the notification bell so that you can be notified whenever we release any of our videos. Okay, and as you also know that the more you like our video, the more the YouTube algorithm, or the better the YouTube algorithm is going to rank us higher. Okay, therefore that can keep motivating us even to make more videos for you guys, because the more people that are watching it tells us that more people are valuing, they find our video valuable, and that will make us to also want to make more videos for you guys. Therefore, do not hesitate, do not delay in liking our videos. As a matter of fact, like it right now, and also subscribe right now, And also, if you have any question, please put that in the comment section below, and do not forget to share our channel with your friends. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye.